Hey everyone, welcome back to Those Fake Nerds. I'm your host Brian, and I want to talk a little bit about the rumors that Valve may be launching a new console. So, this is from techpowerup.com and the user Alex and Dark. Hopefully pronounced that correct. But this is posted Thursday, September 4th, and they say Valve Steam Frame could be Valve's next generation gaming console. Valve introduced the Steam Deck has been a massive success in the handheld gaming market. However, we have long anticipated the return of the legendary Steam Machine, which has its road paved by the ecosystem support around the Steam Deck. According to the United States Patent and Trademark Office submission, Valve has patented a, quote, Steam Frame trademark that is reportedly, quote, intended to cover the categories of computer hardware, computer networking, hardware, computer peripherals, computer hardware, and computer software for reproduction, processing, and streaming of audio, video, data, text, and multimedia content, close quote. Additionally, another trademark filing also claims that Steam Frame is, quote, intended to cover the categories of computer game consoles for recreational game playing, video game consoles, video game accessories, namely controllers for video games, close quote. All the evidence points to Steam Frame being a standalone console designed to fulfill Valve's mission and execute the vision left behind by the Steam Machine. That means that Steam Frame will arrive as a standalone console unit paired with a controller and boot straight into SteamOS with all optimizations configured just like the current Steam Deck. It would be interesting to see what hardware powers the Steam Frame, given that the portability is not a priority and that more adequate cooling would be available for a standalone console. Valve could target higher frame rates on much higher resolutions. For all we know, what we can do is speculate about the future, so we need to see some more concrete information about the project soon. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, yeah, of course, it's a new attempt at a Steam Machine. Everybody knows what the Steam Machine is. Then I looked at the Steam Machine Wikipedia page and I saw that the Steam Machine came out in 2015, so I'd imagine a lot of people don't actually know what the Steam Machine was. So the Steam Machine was Valve's initial attempt to have their own console, and this is from the Wikipedia page. The Steam Machine is a discontinued series of small form factor gaming computers by Valve designed to operate SteamOS to provide a home gaming console-like experience. Several computer vendors were engaged with Valve to develop their own version of the Steam Machine for retail, offering additional options atop Valve requirements such as dual booting options with Microsoft Windows and the ability to upgrade the computer. Consumers could digitally purchase games on their Steam machines through Valve's namesake Steam storefront. So this went from 2015 to 2018, and I think I never had one, but I think what I mostly remember is the weird ass controller with the dual like touch pads instead of analog sticks. But I think it sold less than 500,000 units according to the Wikipedia page, and I think it was a interesting attempt to allow Valve to get games to consumers at perhaps a more affordable price. So it was $400 to $600 depending on the kind of machine that you bought. And I think that in retrospect, it probably was something that, while it didn't work, it did lead to the Steam Deck. And the Steam Deck, for my money, is probably the best console available right now, especially as somebody who does game a lot on PC. Now, primarily when I'm gaming on PC, I'm actually gaming on my Steam Deck. And it also has the dual touchpads, but along with analog sticks. Now, I don't know if that will be included on the new controller for the new Steam Frame, but I think that Steam's in a very interesting spot in the sense that they make so much money from the selling of games on their platform that they could potentially make a very powerful console in the Steam Frame and take a loss on it, similar to what we see happening with the Steam Deck itself, where if you compare it to similar handheld computers, the Steam Deck is pretty underpriced, very affordable for what it offers. And the reason that they can take a loss on the affordability of the Steam Deck itself is because they know they're going to make money back when people buy games. And I mean, I've bought a bunch of games since getting the Steam Deck. I mean, I bought a bunch of games before the Steam Deck, also, don't get me wrong. But since buying the Steam Deck, I've also purchased quite a few games there and games that I probably never would have played before. Vampire Survivors. I was never really interested in roguelike games, but it felt like a good handheld experience, and that became like my obsession for a month earlier this year. July, I just playing Vampire Survivors pretty much exclusively. So I'm very interested to see if Valve does go forward with the Steam frame as it's alleged that they will be doing, because I think now is the time where more people have gotten into PC gaming than perhaps were into PC gaming in 2015, and they still maybe are coming over from the console market and they want to play those console games, and console games are being ported to Steam. We've seen many PlayStation games and Xbox games come to Steam. So I think this actually could be successful provided the price is right. So what do you think about the Valve Steam frame? What do you think about Valve attempting another console after the failure, realistically, of the Steam Machine, but the success, relatively, of the Steam Deck? Would love to hear from you. I personally think it's a great idea. I'm very interested to see how this goes. And yeah, just let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see you in the next one.